Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something that causes a lot of stress for people. High-stakes exam.
That big test feeling.
Exactly. And specifically, we're looking at the real estate exam. Now, I think many people feel like, okay, this is one I just can't wing,
So absolutely. That initial reaction, that nervousness, it's very common. We see that across the board.
Right. But what if that feeling isn't really about how hard the exam is? What if it's more about not having, the right strategy?
That's exactly what our research points to. It's often less about the inherent difficulty and more about just feeling lost. Like, where do I even start?
So our mission today is to show you that with the right system, you absolutely can walk in feeling confident, ready to pass on the first try.
Yeah, it's not magic. It's about a plan. A structured approach can really turn that anxiety around into, genuine confidence.
Perfect. So we've pulled together insights, from different areas, educational psychology, stories from people who've aced it to really break down what works.
It's about studying smarter, not necessarily harder or longer.
Right. Forget the frantic all-nighters. Let's get into these study smart strategies. This is really the foundation.
And what's interesting is that success here isn't usually about raw talent. It's about being deliberate, a methodical preparation.
Totally agree. Okay, so the first big thing, and it sounds simple, maybe too simple, is consistent daily study blocks, scheduling them in. We all know consistency is good, but why is it so critical for something like this? What's the cognitive benefit there?
It's huge. Think of it less like filling a container and more like training a muscle. Your brain needs that regular workout.
Okay.
When you study in consistent daily chunks, even shorter ones, you're leveraging something called the spacing effect.
Spacing effect?
Yeah. Your brain retains information way better when it sees it multiple times over spaced intervals rather than one massive cram session.
Ah, okay. So cramming is actually less effective.
Much less. That info tends to stay in short-term memory and then, poof, it's gone. Daily study builds stronger neural pathways. It helps the information actually stick.
So it's about building mental stamina, too, for the actual exam.
Exactly. Consistent effort reduces that feeling of being overwhelmed and makes the knowledge more resilient, more accessible when you need it under pressure.
That makes a lot of sense, like building a solid foundation brick by brick. All right, next up. Practice exams. These seem essential.
Absolutely critical.
But maybe not just for checking what you know. Our sources really emphasize using them to get used to the format.
Yes, that's a key insight.
And there was this tip. Treat every practice exam like it's the real thing. Why is that mindset so important?
There's a big psychological advantage. The real exam environment, the timer, the specific question types of the quiet room, it has its own pressure.
Right, it's not just the questions themselves.
Exactly. By simulating those conditions in practice, you're doing more than testing knowledge. You're desensitizing yourself to the stress.
Okay, like exposure therapy for exams.
Kind of, yeah. You learn time management under pressure. You get familiar with the look and feel. So on the actual day, it feels less intimidating, more like routine.
You reduce the surprise factor.
Precisely. It frees up your mental energy to focus purely on the questions, not the anxiety about the situation.
Okay, that's a powerful technique. Then the advice is to mix learning styles, using things like flashcards, videos, reading, variety.
I mean, don't most people just stick with what they think works best for them, like reading if they're a reader? Why mix it up?
Well, the idea that we have just one fixed learning style is a bit of a myth, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Engaging with the material in different ways creates multiple pathways to that information in your brain. It's like building a stronger web.
A web. I like that.
Reading gives you one layer. Videos add visual and auditory cues. Flashcards force active recall. Each method reinforces the others.
So if one pathway is blocked by stress on test day, exactly, you might have another way to access that information. It makes your understanding more robust, less likely to disappear under pressure. Plus, it keeps studying from getting, boring.
Prevents burnout too, I bet. Good point. Okay, here's one that seems really crucial but maybe easy to overlook. Balancing state and national content.
Oh, definitely. Big one.
The advice is to focus on state-specific content as much as national. I think a lot of people figure the national stuff is the main challenge.
That's a common assumption, and it can be a real pitfall.
Why is that state part so underestimated?
Because while national principles are the foundation, the state questions often test very specific nuances. Local laws, regulations, contract details that aren't in the national material.
And those can trip you up even if you know the general concepts.
Absolutely. Often a significant chunk of the exam, maybe 35–40%, hinges on these state-specific details. They can be the difference between pass and fail.
Wow, that high. Okay.
Yeah. So ignoring or just skimming the state material because you feel confident on the national stuff is a big risk. You need mastery of both.
The big picture and the local details.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, so that covers the study smart stratagems really well. Preparation is key.
Laying the groundwork.
But then comes the big day itself. All that studying is done. How do you make sure you actually perform well in the exam room?
Right. Execution matters just as much. This is where the test day tips come in. Practical things to optimize your state.
Exactly. Let's shift from the desk to the exam hall. First tip sounds obvious, but maybe it isn't followed enough. Get plenty of rest the night before.
Yeah, the classic all-nighter temptation.
We've all done it, right? Thinking one more hour of cramming is the answer. But scientifically, why is sleep so important before a test like this?
Because sleep isn't just downtime for your brain. It's when crucial processing happens. A memory consolidates.
Consolidate.
Yeah, your brain takes what you learned and essentially organizes it, transferring it from short-term recall to more stable long-term memory. It's like saving your files properly.
So without enough sleep.
That whole process is short-circuited. Your recall is fuzzier. Your thinking isn't as sharp. You make more careless errors. You're running your brain on low battery, basically.
Even if you technically know the material.
Exactly. Good sleep, like 7–9 hours, optimizes your brain's ability to access everything you worked so hard to put in there. It's proactive preparation.
Okay, point taken. No all-nighters. So if your brain is rested, you need to fuel it properly, too. Next tip. Eat light to avoid brain fog.
Fueling for focus.
What exactly is brain fog in this context, and what does light really mean? Like, what should you actually eat?
Brain fog is that feeling of mental sluggishness, finding it hard to concentrate, like your thoughts are wading through mud.
Not ideal for an exam.
Definitely not. Heavy, fatty, or super sugary meals can cause energy spikes and crashes. Your body diverts energy to digestion away from your brain.
Okay, so light means?
Think easily digestible, steady energy. Lean protein eggs, maybe yogurt, complex carbs, oatmeal, whole grain toast, some fruit. Avoid that huge pancake breakfast or greasy burger.
Got it. Steady energy, not a sugar rush and crash.
And maybe go easy on excessive caffeine, too. A little might help, but too much causes jitters and another kind of crash. Steady wins the race here.
Makes sense. Okay, next simple but effective tip. Arrive early. Not just on time, but early. Why the emphasis?
It's about controlling your environment and your stress levels. Rushing breeds anxiety.
True. Being late is stressful.
Arriving, say, 30 minutes early lets you handle logistics, calmly parking, finding the room, checking in. You can use the restroom, get settled, take a few deep breaths.
Instead of frantic searching and running in at the last second.
Exactly. It eliminates that cortisol spike from rushing. You start the exam from a place of calm control, not frazzled panic. It provides a mental buffer.
That feeling of control must be huge psychologically.
It really is. It lets you focus your mental energy where it needs to be on the test.
Okay, great advice. And finally, we get to the actual test questions, the last critical piece of advice. Read every question carefully, don't rush. Sounds basic, but...
It's where so many points are lost. Easily.
Why do we fall into that trap? Just the pressure of the clock.
Yeah, the clock ticks, you feel the pressure, and your instinct is to skim, recognize something familiar, and jump to an answer.
But the questions are designed to be tricky.
Often, yes. They use very precise language. There might be negatives like not or except. They're often distractor answers that look plausible but aren't the best answer.
So rushing means you miss those nuances.
Exactly. You misinterpret what's being asked, or you pick the first okay answer instead of the most correct one. Taking just a few extra seconds per question to really understand it, break it down, evaluate all options. That can save you so many points.
Discipline over speed.
Absolutely. It's about accuracy, not just finishing fast.
Such valuable points, especially that last one. Okay, so wrapping this up, it seems crystal clear. Passing the real estate exam or any big test isn't really about luck or genius.
Not at all.
It's about having a smart, structured study plan, like we discussed, and combining that with these mindful, practical test day habits.
It really reinforces that message that, yes, you can walk in feeling confident, you can prepare yourself to pass first time.
And that core idea, the main takeaway from everything we looked at today seems to be preparation builds confidence.
That sums it up perfectly. It's the foundation.
Absolutely. And look, if you're listening and thinking, okay, I want to implement this, where do I start? We found a great resource you should check out, thriveinrealestate.org.
Good resource.
They have study materials and tools specifically designed around helping you pass on that first attempt. So definitely worth looking into, thriveinrealestate.org.
And maybe one final thought to leave you with, something to chew on.
Yeah.
If this structured, preparation-focused approach can build so much confidence for a challenging exam, think about what other areas of your life could benefit from that same mindset.
Interesting. Like professional goals, personal challenges.
Exactly. Anywhere you feel daunted or overwhelmed. Applying that same preparation builds confidence logic. How can strategic planning and consistent effort transform those challenges too? Something to think about.